Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I'm back with another recommendations video based on your astrological sign, and this one is for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius dates are November 22nd through December 21st. It is a fire sign and the symbol is the archer. So some traits that I found that are characteristic of Sagittarius are that they are generous, idealistic, they have a good sense of humor, they like to travel, they can be very philosophical, they enjoy being outdoors, they can be impatient at times and have no filter and just say what they are thinking. They tend to be adventurous and are risk takers, and they love self-improvement and are very friendly. So some famous authors that are Sagittarius are Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emily Dickinson, Mark Twain, like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, C.S. Lewis, who wrote the Chronicles of Narnia, Colleen Hoover, who's a very popular TikTok author, like Verity and It Ends With Us, Shirley Jackson, who wrote like The Haunting of Hill House, Taylor Jenkins Reid, Malibu Rising, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Han Kang, who wrote The Vegetarian, and Marlo James, who wrote Black Leopard, Red Wolf. So definitely some great authors in the mix for Sagittarius, but let's jump into the book recommendations. The first book that I am going to recommend is Beauty by Robin McKinley. This is probably a YA fantasy retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and the character that I think shows a lot of these Sagittarius traits is Beauty, our main character. She's very generous, kind, and friendly. She likes to be adventurous and to go out and be outdoors with her horse and with plants, and she's a little bit more of a risk taker than her sisters are. She has a good sense of humor and she is fun. She also very frequently just says what she is thinking, especially with her interactions with the Beast, which is a great dynamic and I really enjoy that. And she's also a very independent person. She is fine just being outdoors by herself or with her horse or reading alone, and she is very okay with kind of just living independently but also with other people. So I really love this retelling. This is probably one of my favorite retellings of Beauty and the Beast. It's just so sweet and just a great read. It's just a warm read. It feels very good to be in this world with these characters. So I really love this book. The next book that I'm going to recommend is The Selection by Kira Cass. This is a YA dystopian kind of bachelor-esque romance book, and I actually had a good time with this series. It was just fun and quick and easy to get into the series and get a little bit invested in the romance and the characters, and it was just a lot of fun to read. And the character that I think has a lot of these Sagittarius traits is America, our main character. So she is a very generous person. She's very friendly and open. She speaks her mind. She isn't really afraid to say what she's thinking. She can be quite adventurous and take risks, and she likes that kind of freedom aspect and feeling. She can tend to be a little bit idealistic and not really realize realities of things sometimes, but I did really enjoy her as a character and she was really fun to follow. So I think this is a fun, easy series. If Sagittarius want to like jump in and have a character that's fun to follow, I think this is a good one. Next book I'm going to recommend, I feel like the character fits most of the traits, and the book is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and the character is Addie LaRue. So this book takes place over a dual timeline. One of them is kind of more in modern days New York, and then we have some that are set in the past. And Addie LaRue made a deal with a god after dark, and she wanted to be able to escape her fate of marrying someone that she didn't love and didn't want to marry, but along with this bargain, she ends up so that no one can remember her. So Addie is a very unique character, and I really enjoy her so much. I feel like she is a very adventurous character. She loves to travel. She loves being outdoors, seeing new things, learning new things. I think she has a very philosophical side to her as well as she goes about kind of experiencing the world and experience her life as it has become. she is very independent, and a lot of it is by necessity because no one can remember her. So she is able to take care of herself and be independent while still kind of having some of those human-to-human interactions. She obviously is quite a risk taker because she went out and made a deal with a god of the night, and she definitely takes risks in her life, but it almost feels not like risks because after she has made this deal, she can't really die anymore. And she is one of those people that does say what she thinks. She doesn't have much of a filter, and I think it comes out in her a lot because she doesn't really have to. She can kind of say whatever she wants. No one's going to remember her and what she says, but she also says whatever she wants to this god as well, which is fun, and I love their banter together. So Addie LaRue definitely brings out those more adventurous and independent vibes that I get from the Sagittarius traits, and I love this book. I would highly recommend it. Next book I'm going to recommend is another one that I absolutely adore, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is an adult fantasy, kind of historical fantasy book that has a very fairy tale-esque feel to it, and it is set in Russia and follows this character named Vasya, who has the ability to see these spirits, and other people around her really cannot. And Vasya is the character that I feel has a lot of these Sagittarius traits. She is very independent and she can take care of herself. She loves being out on her own. She loves being outdoors. She loves the woods and being free, and she is very adventurous. She takes a lot of risks, especially for a girl at this time period. And she also says things that aren't very ladylike. She doesn't have a whole lot of a filter, and she feels like she wants to live the life that she wants to. And she just has this wild spirit about her that I absolutely love. She's also very friendly and generous. She makes friends with these spirits. She tries to take care of them and help them. And she also cares about other people so much, especially her family and the people that are like in her life. And she is willing to do a lot to help the people that she loves. And she definitely has an impatient streak to her as well. She doesn't really want to wait to get what she wants. She just wants to go out and live her life now. And I love Vasya as a character. I think she is amazing. It's kind of a coming of age story in this first book. So we follow her from when she is very young. And then as we get farther into the series, it is mostly when she is an adult. But I really love it. I love Vasya as a character, and I just love the series. It's a beautiful, atmospheric, fairy tale feeling series, and I would highly recommend this one as well. And the final book that I'm going to recommend for Sagittarius is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is an adult sci-fi series, and we follow this character named Darrow, who is a minor, a red, which is the lowest of their social standing. And something very tragic happens to him in his life, and he kind of changes directions, changes the course of his life, and it really has a huge impact on their world as a whole. And the character that I would say has a lot of these Sagittarius traits is Cassius. So he is a gold, he's one of the higher ranking people, and he is a very interesting character. I really liked learning more about him and getting to know him more throughout these books. And I think some of the traits that he really embodies is that he is a very generous person with his friends. He's very friendly, he has a great sense of humor, and he just is quite a people person. He likes that kind of camaraderie atmosphere. He's quite idealistic. He thinks that he knows what is right and what is wrong, and that the world that they're living in is the best that it could be, and everyone is doing what they feel is right for other people, and they all have the same morals as he does. And you definitely see that kind of get beat out of him a little bit in this series. He definitely has this adventurous side as well, and is willing to take risks to make himself better. He's very much into self-improvement, into improving himself and becoming a better person, a better warrior, kind of a better everything throughout here. So I think that he definitely fits a lot of these characteristics, and Cassius is just such a fascinating character, and I really enjoyed him throughout this series. And those are my book recommendations for Sagittarius. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, if you love any of these books, and let me know any books that you think fit Sagittarius traits really well. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.